Today, we're going to learn about social theory of aging. Aging is a natural process that everyone must go through at their own time and pace. We all know what it means to age. For some people, it means growing up, but for some others, it is growing old. Social theories, in general, explain expected progression from middle age to old age based on social factors. Theories of aging can help us to understand the process that occur throughout the life course. By understanding them, we can relate them to different levels of society and it also helps shaping the interventions and activities we can do for the elderly. In this video, the first one, we will look into the disengagement theory and then the activity theory, followed by continuity theory and some adjustment in aging. And the last one, we will learn about the contemporary issues. So, what is this engagement theory about? It was created by social scientists Ellen Cumming and William Earl Henry and presented in the book Growing Old, which was published in 1961. This engagement theory tells us about the outline of withdrawal process from social life that people experience as they age and become elderly. This theory states that over time elderly people withdraw or disengage from the social roles and relationships that were central to their life in adulthood. This framework also shows the process of disengagement which is necessary and beneficial to society, as it allows the social system to remain stable and ordered. From a research by University of Chicago on Kansas City study of adult life, 9 assumptions of disengagement theory had been created. Firstly, people lose social ties to those around them because they expect that, and their abilities to engage with others deteriorate over time. Next, as person begins to disengage, they are increasingly freed from social norms which guide interaction. They start losing touch with norms, reinforces and fuels the process of disengagement. It also assumes that disengagement process for men and women is differs because of their different social roles. Fourth, the process of disengaging is spurred by an individual's desire to not have their reputation damaged by losing skills and abilities while they are still engaged in social roles. By that, younger adults are trained to develop the knowledge and skill necessary to take over the roles played by those who disengage. A complete disengagement also happens when both the individuals and society are ready for this to occur. A disjunction between the two will occur when one is ready, but not the other. 6. People who have disengaged will adopt a new social roles as not to suffer a crisis of identity or become demoralized. Next, a person is ready to disengage when they are aware of the short time remaining in their life and they no longer wish to fulfill their current social roles. And society allows for disengagement in order to provide jobs for those coming of age, to satisfy the social needs of a nuclear family, and because people die. It also assumes that once people disengage, their remaining relationships will shift, rewards of them may change, and hierarchies may also shift. Lastly, disengagement occurs across all the cultures, but is shaped by the culture in which it occurs. Now, we're getting to know about activity theory. This theory was developed by Robert J. Javiers in 1961. According to the activity theory of aging, older persons who are able to retain their social relationships and remain active find the greatest level of enjoyment in their life. What is activity that suits elderly? However, stated that mature tasks, personal beliefs, and tasks that relieve societal demands were all related beneficial to them. Now, introducing to you Puan Halima. She was a successful businesswoman. After she retired, she becomes fully housewife at home. She continues her role as wife and new role as grandmother since she spent a lot of her time with her grandchildren. By doing activities that she's passionate about, it can help her to improve her life satisfaction. That was mentioned by Longino and Card in 1982. Hence, according to Harlow and Cantor, working activities together such as with our significant one was a significant factor of life happiness particularly among retirees. Besides, activities helps Puan Halima replaces her roles after retire to keep her being busy and adjust to retirement. Activity also keep Puan Halima to stay active and have a positive relationship. As we get older, the more we are able to do, the better our body age. Our mood also can be enhanced as we do activity that we desire. People that stay active and involved are often happier, healthier, and more aware of their surroundings. Same goes for people of any age. In addition to this, Puan Halima's self-esteem might increase due to social connections and result from meaningful activity that she keeps maintained doing it. So, do you think there is any criticism towards this theory? Definitely yes. Activity theory had been critiqued because of it overlooks inequality due to physical capabilities, finances, and access to social relationships. Not every elderly has the same status. There may be some factors which inhibit elderly's ability to engage in preferred activities or having positive relationships. Another criticism is the unproven assertion that staying active for the elderly necessarily delays the onset of the negative effects of aging. The next one is continuity theory. The continuity theory is proposed by Robert Ashley in 1971. In continuity theory, middle-aged and older individuals try to conserve and sustain existing internal and external structures when making adaptive decisions, and they prefer to do so by employing strategies based on their previous experiences with themselves and their social context. Middle-aged and elderly adapt their lives to maintain the same activities, social relationships, and ways of thinking as they age. Continuity theory suggests that personality is well developed by the time we reach old age and tends to remain consistent throughout our lives. In continuity theory, people remain consistent in how they live their life, how they manage their relationships, and how they exhibit their personalities, even though they experience changes in their physical, mental, and social status. There are two types of continuity theory, which is internal continuity and external continuity. For internal continuity, individual in relation to a member in a structure, persistent of a physical structure of ideas, affect, experiences, preferences, dispositions, and skill. It is to provide individual a way to make further decisions based on their internal foundation of the past. For external continuity, it is a remembered structure of a physical and social environments, role of relationships and activities. Perception of external continuity results from being and doing in familiar environments, practicing familiar skill and interacting with familiar people. It is to provide a support for maintaining a stable self-concept and lifestyle. So, is there any criticism towards continuity theory? Of course, yes. Does not adequately account for the implicit social constraints placed on women, the chronically ill elderly, the role of social welfare programs in the life of impoverished and needy older adults. It is based upon a healthy, wealthy, and male-oriented social model. The next one we will learn about adjustment of aging. Adjustment of aging is a process that involves mental and behavioral response by which individuals strive to cope with adjustment of life. In the simple explanation, adjustment is process that people must adapt when entering new environment or situations. There are four types of adjustment, which is health adjustment, retirement adjustment, loss of spouse adjustment, and social adjustment. The first one, health adjustment. Prolonged illness is one of the threats to older because they have higher chances that easily exposed to disease and injury. So how will they cope to the adjustment? They must get active by doing leisure activity, eat the healthy diet, and get enough sleep. The second one is retirement adjustment. The retirement gives big impact to the elderly as they need to stop their work and find their livelihood. So, the more the time, the less the money. So how can they adapt to the new environment? They need to get active and do leisure activities. And they also need to stay connected with others, such as their neighborhood and their family members. The next one is social adjustment. Social adjustment will contribute to increased self-esteem, greater empathy, and alleviate their mood. So, how to cope the adjustment? People must be connected with others and participate in various group activities. According to Berkman and Breslow 1983, when their age and health declines, they intentionally distance themselves from relatives and friends, and retaining only the ones from which can benefit and know they can maintain. Lastly, loss of spouse adjustment. When older people lose their spouse, they will feel grief, feeling both physical and emotional. For example, sleeplessness and loss of appetite. According to Holmes and Rahe, 1967, widowhood is among the most stressful of life events. So, as a child, we must ensure that they save and always give them social support. The next one, role of OT for elderly. Why do elderly need occupational therapy? Occupational therapists help older people to maintain their participation by working with them to promote independence, especially in their activity daily livings and their instrumental activity daily living. Promote better health and wellness, improve the role of the performance for elderly, and improve social communication and skills. One of the OT interventions that we may do is on social participation. Decrease in community mobility leads to social isolation. OT helps assisting elderly in arranging transportation so they are able to include themselves in socialization. Engaging in social groups promotes social connectedness and reduces the loneliness in elderly. Last but not least, we will learn about contemporary issue in social theory. So, what is contemporary issue? Contemporary issue is a problem and opportunities that are relevant to the present day. The most vital contemporary issue that can be seen is environmental issue, COVID-19. We have been living in pandemic like 2 years from now, and we can see some issues that affect elderly. COVID-19 leads to some serious social issues for elderly, such as loneliness and social isolation through the changes of lifestyle. The pandemic limits them from doing social interactions and live their social life. Elderly cannot gather with their family, friends, and society due to restriction orders since they are the high-risk group. Hence, this leads them to feel lonely, and they might isolate themselves from getting interaction with society. Besides, they also can feel the loneliness from losing spouse and friend due to the disease and social isolation from not being able to meet their children and family. Next, it will affect from doing daily routine and limit their activities due to sadness of being alone. As a result, changes of lifestyle due to COVID-19 contribute many factors of social contemporary issue in elderly and affect their importance to achieving long and healthy life.